There we go. We're here.
Hey, all, this is Patty. I am in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Drop a comment on what are some of your goals for 2026. I've got my good friend Becky here with me. She's also in Green Bay. We're experiencing lots of snow this winter. So we figured since we're both nice and warm and cozy at home, we would share Becky's story with you. So, Becky,
Absolutely.
how are you today?
I'm great. I'm staying hunkered down inside. Chad just came in from shoveling. He looks a little snowy and wet.
It's chilly out there.
It is miserable. I'm not going anywhere else today. Well, I do have to grill tonight, so there's that, but it is what it is.
Right.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, thank you for having me on to share my story because I think there's a lot of people out there who are heading into 2026 kind of wondering what they're going to do and if they're going to stick to it. And I think that's always been my struggle as well. I would start with low carb, keto, 75 hard. I would do the paleo diet, all of these things. I would do it for a while and then I didn't have what it took to stick to it. And I think what I found is the answer that has made me stick to the healthy diet. And this is probably one of the first times in my life I'm not starting the new year looking for a new diet or having a new diet that I have to do. Like I don't have to go on a diet this year. Like it's an absolute blessing. So I found myself a couple of years ago, and maybe more than a couple of years ago, in my integrative medicine provider's office, because I've got 3 autoimmune diseases that have plagued me for the last 20 some years. I've got Hashimoto's, so my thyroid does not work anymore. I've had that for a very long time. I've got discoid lupus and seronegative rheumatoid arthritis. And anybody who's got autoimmune disease knows weight loss is almost impossible. But you do know that when you eat better, you feel better. But it's hard to stick to eating better because it's just all the good things, especially in the holidays, which leaves us feeling kind of broke, busted, and disgusted. And that is exactly how I felt a couple of years ago. So I was in my doctor's office asking her for some ideas for hair loss at the time, actually, joint pain and whatnot. And her solution at that time was to use Trinot's Glow liquid collagen. So that's kind of what got me here is the collagen that caused my hair to grow back, which has been amazing. But that's not, I'll show you the before and after of that just for fun. But that is not what I'm here to talk to you about today. That's just what got me here is once I learned that what this company had was different. And I knew that this was going to be something that would provide the answers that I was looking for, considering everything is CGMP certified, third-party tested, heavy metals, lead, mold, and toxins. And I know this is stuff my body can take. Gluten-free, everything's awesome. So I also found myself very overweight. I was sitting about close to 200 pounds and feeling full of bloaty puffiness. And I'm going to show you guys a picture that I promised I would never, ever share with anybody ever. I had this picture in my phone because I was in my sports bra and shorts. I had it in my phone for a very long time. And I'm like, I will never show this to anybody. Well, once I kind of hit my goal weight, I thought, you know what? There's so many people that I relied on their before and after pictures as motivation to stick to my health goals. And I would seek out before and after pictures. So I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this out there and show everybody what I looked like. So here's a picture of me before on the left and then after on the right. Now you can see in my abdomen, there was a lot of bloat. I found myself I was slightly insulin resistant. My doctor drew an insulin level. My insulin levels were high. People are walking around with really high insulin levels and don't know it. And the only reason you know it is if you get your blood drawn, but most doctors won't test for it. If your insulin levels are high, weight loss is darn near impossible. Okay, so I was sitting in that boat. I had a very large waist circumference and my visceral fat was higher than I wanted it to be. There's just a lot of things working against me. So lo and behold, we released something called Transform in fall of 2023. And Patty lived through this revolution with me here. And it was crazy. We sold 1.5 million bottles in 90 minutes, shut down our website. It was insane. And that is what you see on the left-hand side, the smaller bottle that is part of our daily health system that has helped me get from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. The first thing that we have in that small bottle is an enzyme that converts sugar to fiber. And I should probably mention that my background is in biochemistry and medical laboratory science. So when it comes to the science on how these things work in the body, it is something that I really geek out on. So this sugar to fiber enzyme converts the carbohydrates that you've eaten, like let's say the sugar cookies you had over Christmas, you break that down and by digestion into sugar molecules called glucose. This links those glucose molecules back together into an alpha-glucan fiber that can't be absorbed through your GI tract. So therefore you get less sugar in your system. You're going to lose more weight. You're going to have more mental clarity. You're going to feel better. And it's got grains of paradise to kind of boost your metabolism. So that was super helpful to use as a tool for me when I would eat normal meals and not do something like low carb. So that's huge. Number 2 is the bigger canister there, which is a beverage. And it's the very first competitor to the weight loss injectables that we have on the market today. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not against those weight loss injectables that everybody's using. They're great. I have so many friends on them, but they're cost prohibitive to some people. Some people have health conditions they can't use them. Some people don't want to inject themselves, or they're scared. This is another option. It's also a great exit plan for people who don't want to be injecting themselves forever, because what this does is it's a plant-based extract that causes your body to release its own GLP-1, turning off food noise, making you feel full faster, and stay full longer. So that's one piece of it. The second piece is it activates an enzyme called AMPK, adenosine monophosphate kinase. This pushes your body to preferentially burn visceral fat for energy. So that will decrease your waist circumference. People need to be measuring their waist before stepping on the scale, because you're going to lose inches there first when you're on the Daily Health System. It's amazing. Also lowers cortisol. We all know that's a stress hormone that can cause a lot of weight gain and issues. It also increases nitrous oxide to dilate your blood vessels and lower your blood pressure. So there's that piece of it too. This whole thing together does, it improves your metabolic health. So it makes weight loss more possible. It also makes eating healthy food easy. Where before I'm like, I would be eating really healthy and I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want this. I want that. I want ice cream. I want Culver's. I want all the things. That doesn't happen anymore when I use this. So therefore I'm sticking to it long-term. You guys have been on this for almost a year and a half. I'm now 125 pounds and I have a hard time keeping it on. Another reason I have a hard time keeping it on, I keep losing, and I'm not trying to, I don't want to, is I had the addition of something called NAD back in March of 2025. So that was just this last March. And I noticed in the biohacking and health community that people were talking about NAD. This is niacinamide adenine dinucleotide. And this is actually what your cells utilize for energy. It's like gasoline for your cell's engine, okay? And as you get older, you produce less and less of this gasoline, so you get less and less energy out of all of your cells in general. So I decided, okay, I want to try this. The only ways I could get it was to go to my doctor and get an IV drip of NAD. So they would mainline it through an IV, and it was about $300. Or I could spend about $100 for a month's worth of self-injections. And let me tell you, these injections were spicy. They hurt. They left bruises on my stomach. I should actually get a picture and post that of what that looked like. But what I noticed over the summer from using this from March till October, and I'll tell you why I stopped in October in a second, is I felt like Becky 2.0. I had boatloads of energy and mental clarity. Number 2, I was sleeping like a rock. I could sleep 10 hours straight. And as somebody who's in perimenopause, let me tell you, that sleep is amazing, because most people are waking up in the middle of the night feeling they just can't fall back to sleep. And the last piece was I kept losing weight when I shouldn't have been. I was bringing in the barbecues. I was drinking the margaritas. I was doing all of the things, but I kept losing and it didn't make sense. I'm like, wow, I should be gaining weight back. And it wasn't until I had a lot more friends jumping on NAD that same thing started to happen to them. They're like, holy crap. I stepped on the scales 3 pounds down and I haven't done anything different besides adding NAD to my repertoire. So in October of 25, I about peed my pants and fell off my chair when I saw that we released a liposomal form. Oh, that's not the right picture. Hold on. Let's try this one. A liposomal form, which has choline with ellagic acid. This is highly absorbable through your intestines, where before, if you were to take NAD, it would be destroyed in the process of injection. So the only way you could get this was to mainline it through IV or an injection. Now we have a capsule that allows you to absorb this NAD and get those same benefits of increased mental clarity, increased energy. That's not jittery, it's not caffeine, better sleep, and then your metabolism will kick in. So over the span of a couple months, you're going to see it happen in that order. You're going to start getting more stuff done at night, and then you're going to start sleeping like a baby. And then all of a sudden your metabolism is going to be like, wow, how did this happen? So I am so excited that I'm done with the spicy injections and now utilizing NAD. So I wanted to throw that piece out there because this has been a game changer for me for sure. Now, the last thing that I did was work on my gut health, because how many people do you know have diarrhea, constipation, gas, and bloat? Now, people will tell you, oh, you need a good probiotic. Oh, you need a good digestive enzyme. You need prebiotics. If you go to like Amazon and you start looking this stuff up, you're going to be freaking overwhelmed. So when it comes to those things, I'm very careful about what I put in my body. I don't have a lot of GI issues, but I have a lot of people that I know who do. But adding on a good digestive enzyme with probiotic and prebiotic that works to keep you lean and healthy is key when you're trying to lose weight, okay? The type of bacteria you have in your gut matters. So this digestive enzyme we have, and I do have a video I'm putting down in the comments that explains this in great detail and shows you a demonstration of what this does to a dead food. Okay, that's gonna be down in the comments. So make sure you go and watch that after this. This has 11 strains of digestive enzymes that breaks down carbohydrates, proteins, fats, beans, gluten, dairy. My daughter, she gets dairy issues. She takes this, she feels amazing. If you eat this with a big meal, you're gonna feel great when you're done. It's got gluten digesting enzymes. So if you eat bread and it makes you feel bloated, this will be amazing. It also has 4 strains of probiotics, the kind that keep you lean and healthy. And then the prebiotics, which is like the little fish food that keeps those probiotics alive. Because if you take a good probiotic and you throw processed food at it, you know what's going to happen? It's going to die. So we have to keep those good prebiotics in there to keep those probiotics alive. And this has all of that. I don't know anybody who uses this who doesn't have a fantastic result from it. If you don't have a gallbladder, this is the answer. If you have GERD, gastroesophageal reflux, and you're taking Prilosec medications and things like that, that is tanking your B12 and your iron levels. Take something like this instead and see what happens. Get off of those medications and you're going to feel so much better. This is an option. I'm not making any medical claims. I'm not claiming we cure, heal, or treat anything, but this is definitely something that I would try if you fall into those categories. But this, I lost 2 inches on my waist and my gut alone just by starting this, and that was after a week. So highly, highly recommend that. Now, one of the things Patty and I are super excited about is right now through the end of the day today, and I know we're very last minute on this, is if you get that Daily Health System and Enrich in a bundle, it's discounted and there's free enrollment, which means that when you order it again next month, you're going to get a discount. When you order NAD, you're going to get a discount, and you're going to have a referral link. So when you start losing all this weight and your friend Sally Sue goes, holy crap, Becky, you look amazing, you can go ahead and send her your link instead of sending her back to Patty, which Patty would love to. That'd be great. But wouldn't you want to enroll and have your own ability to do that? You don't have to. You don't have to buy or sell anything. You just get that ability, and that's free right now through the end of the day. Starting tomorrow, it's going to be a lot more. So definitely something to consider if you're looking at these tools that are going to make you feel absolutely incredible. All right, Patty, did I miss anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I think you nailed it.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, shoot them down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and put that putting Enrich demonstration down. If you're interested in gut health, definitely make sure that you watch that because it's pretty cool. So,
Awesome.
All right. Okay, girl, have a great afternoon. Talk to
You
you
too.
later.
Happy New Year.